Hey folks, Dude here. This is going to be an exercise where we discover if it is good or if it is bad. Today's exercise is going to be taking place and we're going to be cooking up some budget price stuff from, of all places, Walmart. That's right, they have, of all things, a under $1 beef pasta skillet meal. Read like 96 cents. I guess this is going to be their idea of like Hamburger Helper. Notice the barcode runs down the length of the box. Ingredients aren't too terribly bad or too terribly good. Seems like pretty much like a cheap bastard version, but okay, so that's item number one. Item number two is going to be, it was like $1.30, $1.50, whatever it was. Their idea of brownie mix. Same deal, plain brown wrapper. Guess it's their idea of budget pricing, and that's pretty much what they're making. So that's going to be these two things we're going to be making today. Is going to be their idea of Hamburger Helper and their idea of brownies. Does it work? Does it not work? I'm going to cook it up and eat and see how it goes. And I'm going to do this one pretty much as just like, okay, and then I'm going to dress it up and you guys will see both ways. So I'm going to break off on this one. Let me get this thing set up and I'll get going. Decisions. Which one takes longer to cook? Okay, let's see. This guy takes pound of ground beef ground. Cook. This one's going to take considerably less time than this one because it's saying mix, bake, 20, 30 minutes, 30, 40, 50, some this one's going first. Let me break down and mix this stuff up first and we'll go from there. Alright, now I'm going to be referencing in this video a lot of products. And yes, unfortunately, I do attend them quite a bit. Mrs. Dude actually sells them, has friends that sells it. And I'm just simply going to reference it, folks. There's a lot of good stuff to be had from the company called Pampered Chef. Now, along the lines of this stuff, they said basically, mix, obviously, a couple eggs, 2/3 cup of oil, no great rocket science there, and a bit of Wawa. Now, I could mix this with a very nice rubber spatula, silicone, whatever you wish to call it, but that doesn't work for me. I like to go traditional. I use a whisk. That way you can beat your egg up, you can incorporate all your ingredients, and everything mixes up easier. Yes, the first couple of throws is going to be kind of a pain in the dick, but when you start mixing it up and everybody starts combining, and of course doing what it needs to do, it's just easier. I'm going to get the style mixed up and you see how that one goes from there, and I'll continue onward. Okay, this is not rocket science, okay? You're basically mixing powdery stuff and the liquid stuff, and you've done this before, okay? You get to lick the batter when you're done, beater when you're done, and you get to lick the batter off the beater. You got it. Alright, everybody's basically now combined, and of course you have to get the stuff off the beater, or off the whisk, or off the spoon, or what have you. Okay, I'm not going to go totally bonkers with this, because if you think about it, for all intents and purposes, everything that's stuck on here is maybe a teaspoon, okay? I'm not going to spend all day trying to get a teaspoon worth of batter off in something that's about 3 cups worth, 4 cups worth. It's just not worth my time. Don't do that to yourself. It's too much like work. Okay, we reached the point of maximum mixage, and we need to do stuff with the pan. Now, for this one, I'm going to use a fairly large glass pan, and this stuff is an absolute frickin' lifesaver for brownies. It is Pillsbury's baking spray with flour. Trust me on this one. This stuff will get just about anything to unstick. Pretend you're spray painting your car with some rattle can. Don't go too crazy. Don't kill the atmosphere. Don't kill yourself. But a good copious coating of this stuff will pay you back in dividends and really, really work nicely. I'm going to now apply stuff, and give me a sec. I'll be right back. Alright, now did I mention the fact that these Pampered Chef guys are just really completely badass? Here's why. It is a mixing bowl. And the cool part is, it's a mixing bowl. A little bit that didn't get mixed in there. I'll fix that. It is a mixing bowl with a spout. Also, it's stainless and it has a rubber base, so it doesn't slip. Druthers, you cannot run this thing through the dishwasher, or you will remove the rubber. Don't do that to your mixing bowl. Bad play. Not good. Don't do that. Okay, so I'm going to get the maximum quantity of said item into said plate, said pan. Can't talk today. Said pan, spread it out, and of course, when I get done with that, I'll start back up again. You guys don't need to see that step. You know how to do it. Alright, so no great rocket science here. It's fully incorporated, what have you. The thing about it is, it's kind of cool, though, is it only holds maybe about a half inch or so of level. So I got a lot of room for rise. And also, it's a fairly large pan, so the heat transfer is going to be awesome. I'm thinking this thing's probably going to be done in about half an hour. So this one now has to wait for the oven to come up to temperature. Oven comes up to temperature, of course it goes in. Time to get started off on skillet meal. Alright, so we're back. It's time to do the, skillet meal. First things first, got about a pound, just a skosh under, it's fairly cheap. Pound under of, 85% ground beef. So, let's just throw that in there. You know, I think something is missing. I said I wasn't going to do anything too terribly crazy to this. I might just have a little fun here. Yep, leftover bacon grease. Leftover bacon grease. Why? Because it smells amazing, and it's going to add something to my meat. Bacon grease. Oh, 2 out of 3 pigs don't like when you cook for them. I'm going to break off on this one for a moment. I'm going to be right back. Oh, the farmer and the cowman can be friends. Obviously soaking the pig and the cow. Trust me on this one, folks. Combining meat flavors is never anything but just an amazing exercise. The good Italian meatballs will combine pork, beef, and lamb to amazing things. If you've ever had good Italian meatballs, it isn't because of the breadcrumbs, because they put multiple versions of meat in there. Okay, we're starting to brown up, and we'll get back to you in just a minute or two when we're done browning. Yep, 'tis sad. Simply just browned ground beef. With a little bit of bacon fat, but that's not really going to add all that much to it. I'm going to drain it off and get ready to cook the rest. Give me a second here. Alright, so we're back. It's ground up and everything. You know what? I'm going to have another pan warming up just in case. You know, you never know, something might come along and you want to cook something else. And okay, it's time to dress this thing up. So let's go with that. First and foremost, they say to add. Let's see. You wish to add 1 cup of milk. So, cow juice. You wish to add 2 1/4 cups of hot water. I guess I'll be in hot water if this don't work. Noodles and sauce mix. So, noodles, sauce mix. Which, to my nose, smells pretty much like any basic, pretty much packaged, Hamburger Helper type of thing. Even though this is not Hamburger Helper. This is skillet meal. Ooh. Alright, so essentially all these ingredients have now been added. Heat to boiling, stir occasionally. Reduce heat, cover, simmer about 10 minutes, stirring occasionally until pasta is tender. I guess this means I now have to do other things as well. I gotta stir. It was a brackish, nasty, creepy thing with lumps and bumps and utter... Ew. Let me keep stirring. This is not looking real healthy right now. Ugh. That still don't look like no damn Hamburger Helper to me, but it could look like skillet meal. Skillet meal. In your local Walmart for only $1. Let me continue to let this thing cook. Actually, I also did put stuff into the oven there, so the brownies are baking, this is cooking, and hopefully I'll have something that's somewhat edible in a little while. Don't take any bets on that one. Alright, so we got bubblage and simmerage and all the rest of that good stuff like that there. Said basically simmer, stir, simmer, stir, simmer, stir, reduce heat, and cover. So let me reduce heat way down. Because I don't have the best seal with this cover versus this pan, so I'm trying to make do. And what does it actually smell like? Yeah, it actually smells not too bad. I mean, it kind of smells a bit like Hamburger Helper. Not quite the same thing. Hopefully I got kind of a seal in there. I'm going to reduce my heat down quite a bit now. This pan's going to come up to temperature. Of course, we do have some liquid pig fat goo. Liquid pig fat goo. Oh, liquid pig fat goo. Uh-oh, hope that's not too much liquid pig fat goo. Oops. So, what would work marvelously in liquid pig fat goo? Well, for my money, copious quantities of the piggage. So I'm going to put this sucker in there, let that booger rock and roll, and that'll be good, 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 good. Did I mention it'd be good? So this is going to do, this is going to do, that's already doing, and we're doing. Alright, I don't know if this is going to really show up too good. I did crank on the light, but I am purposely letting these guys almost like, you know, caramelize up and go way over. I want to get that really, seriously, deep, intense onion flavor from hell. So, that's what that is doing, that, and let's give it a check and see how the other stuff is doing. It is looking relatively kind of cooked up. My stove's a little confusing with the gauge, which dial does what, so unfortunately it did go a little high for a little long. It is cooking it up, it is thickening it up, and the noodles are starting to soften. I'm going to give this guy probably another 5 minutes or so in very, very low setting, you know, with the cover clamped on there, and hopefully something happens. And I'll give this sucker a taste, give that a taste. Well, obviously I'll give this a taste, and if it doesn't improve, that's going in there. Well, we're really cooking here. Kind of, sort of. Open a box. We're cooking. Alright, I'm going to call this one pretty much done. I'm going to kill the heat for the front one. Cover it up. Let it set for about 5 minutes or so and, you know, settle up and do what everything it needs to do. Pulling it off of the heat onto a cold burner. This guy, well, this guy now needs to have some special inducements. So, how do you kick up onions and make onions better? Well, you can do a couple of choices. You can add wine, but I'm really not looking for a wine hit, okay? I'm looking for something else that's just going to take this thing and pretty much punt it up into the upper atmosphere. So, what would that actually be? Worcestershire. Worcestershire sauce is, well, it's just one of those really seriously kick-ass flavor things that just really punts it up, well, to the upper atmosphere. So I'm going to let this combine, and of course, it is going to get very syrupy, very, very quick. So, pretty much everything it needs to do is finished. That's it. Now, if you guys want to make a hellacious steak and cheese sandwich, that is the secret for your onions. Grill them up, get them brown, put some Worcestershire sauce in there, then add that to your meat and your cheese and everything else, and oh, mommy. Let that sucker set up for a little bit. Let that sucker set up for a little bit. My baking goods are still going. They got about another 10 minutes or so in the oven. And I'm going to do some tasting next up. Give me 1 second here. Be right back. Alright, I've let it set up for about 5 minutes or so. So let's dish some up and see what this stuff's all about. Lord, I humbly thank you for these amazing gifts. May these things for the serve you in Jesus' name, amen. We need something to, well, cap this with. We need to have a proper beverage that pairs marvelously with this batch of Skillet Meal. So let's go with that one. That's still good. It's flipping hot. Commend it to you, folks. It's not bad. It's really not bad. But it's kind of plain. It needs assistance, okay? That's where I have these caramelized onions coming into play. So throw some of these bad boys in there. Caramelized onions and boxed Walmart food. How bad can that be? Probably not bad at all. Second try. Kick my ass. That's really all it needed. Some nice, subtle, kick-ass onion thing. Oh. Yeah, I commend it to you, folks. If you get something that's kind of take an onion, hack it up, just brown that thing in butter, brown it in bacon grease, whatever you guys got. Splash of Worcestershire, anything you throw in there, that stuff's going to kick ass. I'm going to break open this one, folks. Eat good, keep it simmering as always. Always, you know, you love it. Well, Skillet meal, food. Not goodness, but food. Break off with this one. See you guys. You guys thought I forgot about it, didn't you? I didn't. It just needed to be baked. Alright, so let's put a quick hack in there and see how it rolls. It's a brownie, folks. Okay, it either is going to be good or it's going to be bad. There is no in between. It is very, very cakey. Very, very cakey. Let me give it a test bite. Excuse me 1 second here. It's also freaking hot. Biggest thing is very, very, very soft and gooey. I don't know if it really set up well, if there's just not enough leavening, or if it's just that kind of a mix. In terms of flavor, let me get a cooler piece. Give me 1 second here. It's kind of chocolatey. It's not hugely chocolatey. You know what? For this whole meal costing under $6, I'm not complaining too loud. I'm going to get a second meal out of the noodles, also known as the dreaded skillet meal, beef pasta skillet meal. Between that and the brownie, for under $6, you can feed yourself, feed your family, and I commit it to you. Is it something I'd want to pick off the shelf and eat every single throw? Every single time? No. No, but it is good cheap eats, and it's not going to kill you. Of course, you have to supply the meat. That's actually the most expensive thing. Actually, is the ground beef is definitely the most expensive thing. Oil, a couple eggs, milk, water, easy stuff. I'm gonna break up on this one, folks. Eat good, keep simmering as always. Love it. Dinner goodness, kind of, sort of, maybe. Walmart stuff, cheap. See you guys.